What's good? Welcome to the Land, your bet sports betting live stream show. Gonna see if we can get this going. Not get any interruptions like we had yesterday. I'm gonna be running through this Eastern Conference play-in tournament games. We got those Hawks, got those Bulls, and we got the 76ers and the Heat. Gonna kick it off with the 76ers and the Heat. Definitely want to remind everybody, jump into that stream and get into those bets. We already got one coming in from DB's talking about Bruno. Not gonna let that get lost, bro. I meant to get that in yesterday, and then messed that up before I could get in the Bruno Fernando bet there. I kept calling him Bruno Fernandez too, but let's let everybody get in here real quick. How are y'all doing? Good to see you. Got David Atkins in here. Wants to talk about Drummond. Yeah, I didn't see anything about him yet, but we should see what's up with that. Was good. Free sauce. Good to have you, bro. And Rockstar. Seeing y'all in the Discord earlier. I had put in the Discord earlier about the potential contest that we're going to do for $100 is what it's going to be. I'm going to go with the playoff one there. So I'm going to actually bring that up here in a minute. I'll show you on the screen that if you do want to jump into the Discord, and you can go ahead and jump into this contest for us. It's going to be basically March Madness style. So you're basically just going to go in and pick who you think is going to win from each round. Let me show you what I got here real quick so I can be extra clear about it. But yeah, I'm going to have the link out to you guys here in just a minute. I just got the site up. So we're going to be good to go there. Let me get this to the stage. You can kind of see what we're working with here. It's going to be real simple, but like I said, it's going to be this, you go down to the bottom here and you can just get right into this link right here will just take you right to the ability to enter your name, your information, and then you can go ahead and make the picks that you want for each one. We'll get these playing games by Friday. So if you want to just fill this out by, before Saturday at some point, that'll be good. And there's a couple extra little ditties here in terms of how the bonus points work and all that. So check that stuff out if you want to come in and get in that. I'm going to put it on the Discord, but I will probably make it available to everybody as well who might be looking to come in as well from not the Discord, right? But let me get a couple of things up real quick so I can just make sure I got what I need for y'all, and then we're going to get right into what we got for today. All right. Pulling up a couple of those games that we got. We are going to start with Philly and Miami, and I do want to run through what we've got going on, what I already put in as well, so that you guys know what I'm playing already. Let me make sure I got my screens right here. Stream solo share bet. All right. So yeah, the first game that we are going to be looking at is that Hawks and the 76ers and the Heat is what we're going to be going with here. So we'll get that going in just a sec. Like I said, I do want to show you real quick which bets I had, so you guys are aware. Let me pull up my stuff here, just trying to make sure. So my best bet of the day was Capella to go under. I'm really liking that one right at this point. So I'm going to roll with that and get him to get under 12.5 rebounds. That's what I'm feeling best about. So definitely if you want to tail that one, already had that in the Discord. Obviously, all these bets going into the Discord a little bit early than everywhere else. So make sure you jump into there. If you have not yet, all of the stuff is in the description of the video. All the tools I'll be using today are in the description of the video too. But I just like the way that this Bulls defense, it's not even really about Vooch, man. It's more about Vooch standing farther away from the basket. A lot of you guys know that when I look at rebounding bets here, what I'm looking for is who are they matched up with, and are they gonna be close to the basket? We barely creeped under the Domas 12.5 rebounds yesterday. I'm going right back to the well in a similar situation where Domas is guarding dudes away from the basket, didn't have nearly as many rebound chances. In fact, most of his rebounds, half of them were garbage, like little dinky, the ball rolls to him off of a bunk rebound from somebody else kind of stuff. Still went under there. I don't like the points as much for those of y'all that want to talk about the points for Capella. I don't want to go under those anyway. I would actually lean farther to the over on Capella points, especially with Trey back, which is heavily correlated to my Trey bet. All these were up last night as well for these bets that I made. So if you're not yet subscribed, I would definitely recommend doing that so you get this stuff on time. I don't think these numbers and these odds are exactly the same this morning, which obviously creates a little bit of problems for you. But that's one that I had in there as well. This is what you do against Orlando, against Chicago. You go ahead and take the point guard, and you don't worry about anything else there. You take the point guard assist, you don't take the point guard points. That's what we talked about a lot. I like Bam under. I think some of the people in Discord are in disagreement, which I understand. If you don't think Joel is even close to good enough to defend Bam, then yeah, this is going to be a little bit more of a scary bet. But he has not done this when he's played against Joel. And I would imagine, especially because there were some playoff games in there, Joel wasn't 100% when he was playing him in those situations either. And so he's not going to be 100% tonight, but that doesn't mean that he's not capable of defending the rim. They're already back to basically the best the best interior defense in the league for Philly once they got Joel back. So, and then lastly, here's Tyrese Maxey, who I love when these situations happen where people are like, oh, well, when Maxey's playing by himself without Joel, then he must be just this dude who's way better than when he has Joel. So let's fade Maxey when Joel's on the floor. It's like, no, that's not how it works here. It's actually Maxey being better when he's got Joel on the floor with him, which is what we've seen. He's super efficient when he's got Joel with him as well. So that's a huge part of what I was looking at there. But that's the 4 that I have in that I put into the Discord as well. So definitely want to check those out. Like I was saying, as far as the Discord goes, this is where we're at with that at this point. Feeling really good about the people that we have in there, man. So I'm appreciative of y'all as we continue to grow that thing. Gonna have the contest in there for you as well. So make sure you check that out if you are in the Discord. Quick look at how we did yesterday too. Let me get out of the screen here. Like basically yesterday was it was a tough day for a lot of people. I'm pretty sure when it came to that Kings and that Warriors game where that was not close. And that was the thing that did me in, but we still got under on the Domas rebounds. I had him at 12.5 and 13.5. And we took an AD prop yesterday that was given in the chat. I believe that was Ray. Ray's been coming up with some fire looks lately, by the way. So shout out Ray, who is usually in here as well and is always in the Discord, come up with some really good stuff. That's what the Discord's about, by the way. The Discord's about y'all being really smart, as much as I like to bring what I can to you guys, right? Like it's a lot of you guys coming in and being hella smart with what you're talking about. So I'm very appreciative of you guys getting involved and participating. That was one of the things that I was asking for everybody. It was like, yo, make sure you jump in and participate, because like there's a lot of good looks from people who are not me that we're getting as a result of this. And that AD bet was one of them. So everything's scrolling on the bottom in terms of what we got there. And we're going to be coming up with what we got next. I know there's a couple bets I want to look at. So I'm going to have that up next card come up, because I know I want to look at some stuff from the Hawks game. I'm going to put Bogey in here because I know people are going to be talking about him, the way that Miami struggled. The way that Chicago defends spot up shooters, the way they overpress the ball, which leaves 3-pointers available for guys like Bogdanovic. I got that right. He's the Bogdan. Bojan is on the Knicks. So, yeah, Bogey, I'm going to look at his points. I think that's a good play, but I do want to do this in a bit of order. So let's kick it off with the Heat and the 76ers. I'm just going to put Embiid in here because I already know people are talking about him. And the sharps in the Discord have been talking about Embiid under on the points today. So let's keep that in mind, because I'm kind of in agreement about that. I'm going to pull up props.cash and start getting into some of that. But first, let me get into the comments and make sure I'm not missing what y'all have. I have Maxey PA in there, so I'm not going to put him in right now. I am going to put Oubre in there for a minute and see what's going on with him. Let me see what else you guys are looking at from that game. Derek wants to talk about the Maxey, Embiid, Hero, and Butler. So yeah, I'll add Hero and Butler for sure. They should be in there as guys that we look at real quick. Hero, Butler. I'm not even put the props that we're looking at yet. I'm just going to put them in here so that we can get some people down and then go there. We got Rockstar talking about Tobias Harris and his rebounds. I will put that in there because that was specific. I like that. The specificity. Appreciate that. Then we got Daryl talking about Kyle Lowry. Always sneaky whenever it comes to Kyle Lowry. And Jaime Jaquez Jr. He's at 7.5 points, huh? I don't know yet how Spo is going to use him in this one, but let's put the real Triple J, as he was just referred to, Jaime Jaquez Jr. and Kyle Big Booty Lowry, who's always down to take a charge and annoys a lot of people. But we'll put Kyle in there, see what's up with him in a clutch game. Let's see. Yeah, don't sleep on Embiid. Yeah, that's the question, though. Is Embiid, how healthy is he? And is he going to do what he needs to do to at least stop Bam for my under bet that I have here? And then everything else is like, well, I kind of like Maxey to play off of Embiid more than anything, because even if Embiid is full percent, you still get some the likelihood that Maxey goes over. Let's see real quick. We got a whale play from Andrew talking about Vooch over half a steal. I don't think you're allowed to say whale play directly after you say Vucevic steals, but if that's what you're going with, bro, we can take a look at it when we get to that game. Bam is going to play a lot of minutes, is what Constantine thinks. Pull that up. Focusing on defending. Yeah, you like Bam out of the Bayou rebounds. All right, do I have Bam in here? I mean, I have his under, but we can see what's up with that. We got some good stuff to look at. So let me pull up what we want to look at from this game. Pull up the right one here. Hold up one sec. Gotta get this going on IG as well. Welcome to all the IG brethren and sisterin, however you say that. All right, let me pull up the odds too, because this stuff has moved a little bit. Because now that we're on this game right here, this Miami and Philly game, that thing has moved. It was 4.5. It's 5.5. There was a 6 hanging around, but I think that's gone. And and then we have the 207.5 because that total dropped. But the Heat money line is like minus 190 right now, and like shoot, like if you think they can cover 5.5, maybe you just like that money line as well for some good juice back on your bet there. Let me throw Hayward Highsmith in there as well, and just to consider like which we can't bet on multiple role players. We got to like trim it down to which role player we think is going to do the most. But we'll take a look at all that right now too. Hold on, I'm trying to get this full screen for you guys. Come on, StreamYard. All right. I'm going to pull up props.cash as a starting point and just try to remember what we were just talking about here. So let's start with Embiid, right? Because we know that that JoJo Embiid is going to be a difference maker with whatever happens. All right, so Joel is at 11.5 rebounds, and this is head-to-head stuff. So I'm looking at props.cash. This is where we usually start when we look at these props. In the description of the video has these links. Make sure you jump in there. Everything that we look through here is going to be linked in there. So Joel's at 29.5 points now. That's insane. I know we like to look at his first quarter stuff because when he's in this situation where it's like maybe he just wants to get as much into the early part of the game as possible and then move on. 7.5 points is actually legit. Is that real? That doesn't feel real. Let me pull up DraftKings. Sometimes we got to make sure on these books themselves that this is pulling through correctly to props.cash. But that seems crazy. Because that seems low is what I'm trying to say. I thought it would be at 8.5, 9.5 like it was last game for him. Going down to first quarter points on DraftKings just to see what they got real quick. Am I on points? Yeah, I'm on player points. We don't have first quarter points from this book. That's absurd. Why would that not be here? Okay, so we don't have a first quarter prop for Joel. That's really weird. We've been talking about that one for a while, so I really want to see if that's a bet or not. As I change this music real quick, let me pull up FanDuel and see if this just happened last time, bro. I got to get FanDuel back again. God damn it. All right. We'll move past his first quarter stuff then. We'll just look at his full game stuff real quick. For JoJo, yeah, let me pull it up right quick and turn this music down just a smidgen so y'all can hear what's going on. All right. So the regular stuff for full game for Joel, it's just about how healthy you think he is, man. I mean, if we look at head-to-head, yeah, he's gone under in the last 3. That was this last game where he went 29. He's still clearly hurt, played 32.5 minutes, and they ended up winning that game to make sure they still got the 7 seed. And then last year at the end of the season, did not go over in either of those either. I mean, Bam does a good job on him. I lean under on the points for Joel. I'm not sure if we can get 30.5 still. Yeah, you can get under 30.5 on points bet. I don't usually recommend points bet. 29.5. Yeah, I mean, it still seems like it's an under before it's an over. I don't know if y'all think I'm overthinking this, but I mean, if we even just, I know it's Joel, so like Joel kind of supersedes any of the math that we could make up about why Miami can stop him and how good they are at stopping centers or whatever. But this is Courtside Pal, and it is a great starting point for looking at player profile versus defense rather than just player position versus defense, right? So you're gonna hear me talk about that a lot. If we look at Miami against Joel's shooting profile, they're going to stop him the 5th most, limit him the 5th least points, and same for his scoring profile, right? And that's how we kind of split things up on this site. So already you can see, obviously, they do not give up anything down low. If we look at his rebounding profile, they're going to be 9th best. Like, this is Miami. This is what they do. They collapse the defense. They give things up to spot up shooters. And as a result, maybe it's more likely that he gets the dimes than doesn't even get dimes against this team, honestly. The last 3 against them, potential assists at 7. He had 11 potentials against them in this last game. So, it looks like he was trying to pass out, which is what some people have been thinking too. I would actually prefer the assist before I went into before I got into the points. Let me look at his playmaking stuff real quick and his assist likelihood against Miami. Yeah, that's going to be way higher because what Miami does, they give up the 9th most assists to his playmaking profile. And the reason being, they give up stuff to spot up shooters. So just to finish the story that I built about why I would actually lean assists for Joel and not points, if you go to we'll do teams and we'll go to play type. So I can see how good this Miami team is at defending the spot up shooter, right? Because that's what Joel's going to be doing a lot of times when he gets assists. He's going to be passing out from the post to the 3-point line to kick it out to spot up shooters. So if we look at Miami versus spot ups, the frequency they're put into the spot up shot the most, right? 1.08 points per possession is good for like bottom 10 still. And that means that they're giving up the 2nd most points per game to spot up shooters, right? So that correlation right there, when you're talking about Joel Embiid, is probably going to mean some form of of him passing out and not getting as many points. That's kind of how I'm reading it, and that's what I would prefer. If you look at the last 10, yeah, even like since he came back from injury, right, that this is 5 games that he's played since he came back from being hurt. And in those 5 games, he's up to 9 potentials a game. He had that 1-4 against Memphis where he played 22.5 minutes against Memphis. So that's the only reason he had 4 potentials there. In the other 4 games, we're talking about 11, 11, 12, 12. I know he got it 3 out of those 4. And one of them against Miami, there was just the shots were not going down for Philly. That's really what it came down to. But I would definitely lean a bit more into the assists at this point than anything else. So the thing is, for him to get 6 assists, plus 120 is actually really good juice. If you take minus 4.5, you're going to get no juice, right? It's on DraftKings. If you take minus 4.5 assists over that, you're going to look at like minus 166. So for him to get the 6 against this team, something he hasn't done, I still don't think the edge is there. But my caution would be that the points are going to be a lot harder for him to come by with the amount that he's going to have to try, honestly. And I know this is a low number for the MVP, even for the season. Gone over this 31 to 39 times. He was averaging 35 a game before he got hurt, but it's just not there for me for Joel to go over. So I would lean under on the points and I would take over on the assists. And in fact, let me see if we can just build something real quick that might make me a little bit happier. If I put a same game parlay together, and it's probably not going to work because it's not going to. They're correlated, so you're not going to get good juice on it. But if you take Joel, you can't take all under points. You just have to take under points, and they're not even. Let me go points. My bad. Points for Joel. They doing the alt over under for Joel. If we took under 30.5 and say he's going to do that, and then we look at the assists maybe, and we parlay them together. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Of course, if he just goes to town on the assist, then we're screwed anyway. But if I combine that with over 4.5 for him to get 5, looking at plus 158, I like that a little bit better. But it's always safer to just play these things. It's usually smarter, to be honest, to just play these things as straights, right, and get the best juice you can. But that's the way I would lean on this one. For Joel, I'm gonna just write that I would go under points and I would go over assists, but the assists at 5.5 are they're terrifying. Obviously 6 assists, even on like 11 potential assists, still not great. So I'm off Joel. But like I said, I'm gonna at least leave it up here that I would go. This is the lean right here, is the under on the points and the over on the assists. So I got that in here on, and I'm gonna put it on the bottom line for you guys as well, and then that'll be on the card right here. But for me personally, it's a pass. I didn't bet on Joel in this game because I just don't feel like I know enough. And honestly, like the possibility of him getting hurt is also why I would lean under on the points, probably even before I would take any kind of over on the assists. I would just go, look, the likelihood that he doesn't play a full game is, let's say he's 75% in this game. How comfortable do you feel like he's going to finish it? So let me see what y'all talking about in the chat. Just make sure I'm not missing anything. DK has a promo of Butler and Embiid, 15 plus first quarter points combined for minus 170. That's a huge pass for me, to be honest with you. But I was talking about this yesterday with everybody on the Discord. Like when it comes to the books offering me a deal that they're like, yo, you should take this bet, kind of out. Like I'm just automatically like, I don't trust you as far as I could throw you. So anyway, NBA, what's good, bro? What'd you shoot? Let us know. You didn't miss anything yet, but everything is on the bottom line down below if you want that. Is it 8.5? Let me know, Yehoshua, where you're finding the Embiid first quarter points. Oh, you said 365. You did. This is why you're the sharp dude. So yeah, 365 is where you get the 8.5. I'm not seeing anything else everywhere, but Joe, what's good, bro? Always good to have you in here. I personally am not trusting Jimmy. I know a very smart Heat fan. If y'all know Prop Bomb, who was on the show the other day, Prop Bomb is going he wants to go under. I'm not gonna put out the play for him. I can't remember if he put it out yet, but he and I were talking about under for Jimmy before over, just with the amount of dudes that they can throw at him, to be honest. And I haven't talked about Jimmy yet, but I think there is a legit reason that he's gone under against them recently. I do want to see. I remember the I'm gonna go to StatMuse real quick so I can just see Jimmy Butler versus 76ers last. Let's do 6 games because I mean there was. And I'm going to get playoff stuff in here too, which is fine. But there was that whole revenge narrative for Jimmy, who hates this squad. And that's a huge reason for why he's always down to clown them, right? Let me see if I can get this. Thank you, Lord. All right. So for Jimmy on the points in this matchup, like I'm always scared to take an under. 23.5 is a bit high for how he's played against this squad. What just happened when I just brought it up like that? It's just jumping up. All right. StreamYard's being wonky. Anyway, I won't be a stickler about it. So for the props.cash stuff, if we look at Jimmy in the last 10, like this is what I'm always scared about, is when is he going to turn it on? And he didn't even turn it on. I think a lot of us probably took the over in that game last year. Let me see. Who did they lose to? Was it the Hawks, right? Heat versus Hawks play in game. And I'll just see if I can pull that up. That was last year. They went to, oh no, they beat the Hawks to keep them out of the playoffs. Was that how that worked on the 9th? Maybe not. I was just trying to see if I could get it because it was the 9th. But that was something that was like, wait, I thought Jimmy was going to go off, and he didn't go off in the game prior. So I'm always worried to be like, oh, it's playoff Jimmy time, when in reality, like, I am not able to predict when Jimmy is or is not going to go off. I just know at the end of the regular season, when this team was definitely in need of wins, he was not going off. And he did against Atlanta, and he did against Indy, whose defense is terrible. But against this team, if we look at the shots that he's taken, and this is all regular season, so I'm going to look at the amount of shots he's at. I mean, he's at 32 minutes, so he didn't even play very much at the end of last season in March. And he doesn't really care about the regular season. He admitted that. Then in this last game, he played 40, right? He didn't get it in this last game either. He played 40 minutes, had 20 points. How many shots did he take in that game? Looking at that, 17 shots that he took in that game. He's averaging 13 against this team. Now, I will pull up the playoffs instead for a minute for Jimmy and go to playoffs. I mean, I guess they played too long ago. But if you look at his stuff in the playoffs, I guess this was 22. So it was 2 seasons ago. It wasn't even last season. I'm not going to buy into that as much as completely different teams. I think the best data that we have to see how he's going to do is still regular season, to be honest, against this squad. And in this one right here, that just happened. Why is this 4-6 game coming before 4-4? This is April 6th when the Heat just waxed them. Am I tripping here? This is 4-4-23 maybe? Come on, man. Work with me, Stat Muse. Oh, yeah, this 4-6-23. That's why. So it's really just this season, because even last season, you still had Harden on the squad. This is the last game of the year that just happened. I do think Maxey is the best bet for somebody to kind of go off and get their points. Jimmy had 20, but I will point out that Terry is not here, and Terry probably comes in and takes a bit from Jimmy. Let me look at that on props.cash real quick and see if there's anything to that. I'm going to go to last 10. Hold up. We're not going to do the playoffs anymore. We're going to do on the season, and I'm going to take Terry Rozier and put him in here. Let's see what happens when we put Terry in there. He's 8 for 29 getting this with Terry in-house, 21 points per game. It does seem like there's some correlation. Terry did take some shots, and now that he's got no Terry in here, if we do without Terry, still hasn't, I mean, it's a regular season, bro. He has not been going over at all. But this is without Terry Rozier and still not really going over consistently. Just about how many shots you think he's actually going to take, fam. I'm kind of like, I don't have enough for Jimmy's for his scoring to understand what's going to happen. Maybe the rebounds. Let's see if he's done anything to like help out on the boards. 5.5 boards went under the last 2. Assists head-to-head 67%. What's he been doing recently with the dimes? It's a crapshoot with Jimmy right now, bro. So yeah, I'm gonna move off of him because there's not enough for me to bet on him either side, to be honest with you. So I'm gonna pass on Jimmy buckets right now and make that clear in here. I'm gonna sorry, my bad. I got the bottom line still going. I got Butler. I got nothing. Honestly, I really don't know how to reach Jimmy ever. So he's gonna be a pass for me on that one. Sometimes I feel like I can look at this and go, all right, Jimmy's on in his bag, on his stuff, and I don't know why. I don't have anything to tell me about that right now. So like I said, with the assist with the leans there with Embiid, let me just put a pass so you all know it's a lean and not something I actually bet. And then I'm gonna move into a couple more 76ers that we got here. And see what we got there. What's good, Daft Previews? Good to have you in here. Got Drewski. Hell yeah, what's good? College makes you dumber. Wonderful name. I appreciate that. Cool. Let's see here. At college make you dumber. Under. Yeah, we do. Let me just look at Jaime because Jaime is one of my boys. I love betting on Jaime. I feel like I know the right times to hit some Jaime stuff. So let's look at Mr. Jaquez for a minute. Jaquez Jr., everybody's favorite Mexican basketball player right now. What's Jaime at? So he's at the assist is 1.5. The Rebs are at 2.5. That feels low. Does it not? That's crazy. We got no Terry Rozier in here. I don't know if his minutes necessarily are impacted by Terry. Let me do Jaime Jaquez with and without Terry Rozier last. Let's do, 20 games at least? So Terry's missed 4 games of that time, and he does go up a little bit in points, just 2 more minutes. There's a little bit of a correlation. There's definitely more shots to go around when he's off the floor. He gets 1 more shot per game. But also we've got him. Let's look at him on props.cash for a minute, because I want to look at Jaime without Terry and with Duncan and with Hero. I don't even know if he's going to have much because Hero was hurt so much. Yeah. So this is all going to be before Terry got there. There's only like 1 game with Terry, but that's crazy. 10 for 10 on the points. Now it's up to 6.5, but 10 out of 10 on the points this season when he plays with those dudes and without Terry. 19 for 24 in the season, was going over before as well. Minutes up to about 29. Does seem like we might get some more Jaime in this game if that's the case. So we got with Hero, we got with Duncan, and we got without Terry Rozier, right? And if we look at the last 10, so should really be, when did Terry Rozier start with them? Let me look at Terry Rozier with Miami Heat. And he's played 31 games. Let me look at game log. So he's played 31 games. I could have even done longer. 31 games with them, which started on the 24th. Oh, yeah, he got traded before the trade deadline. So these are all with Terry Rozier right here that we're looking at. So on the 24th, okay, so there's 3 of them. 3 games without Terry, and with those 2 dudes back, with Duncan and with Tyler back. He's at 32 minutes in those games. In the last 3, he's still at like 30 minutes a game, 29 minutes a game without those dudes. So, I mean, he's been getting the burn, right? No matter what. If we reset all these filters real quick and just look in general at what his minutes have been like last 5 of the season. And I know they wanted to play him a bit more at the end. Yeah, he got bigger minutes when they played those doo-doo Raptors at the end, and they could get some burn for their younger dudes. But yeah, I mean, with those dudes in, it seems like Jaime is a better scorer. I think I like that at -110 on BetMGM. If you think he's going to play 28 to 29 minutes, this is a good look for real. Let's bump this up real quick to just see the minutes for him. If we look at 28 or more, if that's what we project him at, right? So 28 minutes, but let's cap him at like 32, assuming that's what he's going to play. So in 28 to 32 minutes, yeah, I mean, even without those dudes on the season, 11 to 12. So when he gets the run, then he's good to go. I like that a lot. I mean, he's gone over a lot. Field goal attempts are at 9. That's what we like. That's what we like, right? 4 out of 9 is very doable for Jaime. He'll probably be playing closer to the basket as well without those dudes. Yeah, I'm on the Jaime over points. That's a good look by y'all. So I'm gonna throw that in here right now. Jaime Jaquez, the Triple J, right? My bad. Triple J over 6.5 points, -110 MGM. I'm throwing a full unit on Jaime. I really like that look right there. I think just based on how everything's done here. I mean, look, he and Jimmy do similar stuff. Let me put him in courtside pal real quick just to make myself feel a little bit better as well. Jaime. There's no way there's another Jamie. Jaime Jaquez Jr., the real Triple J, points versus Philly. He's a good defense. So it's not like, yeah, we're not going to get very many positions that are really good at scoring against him. Also, I think his scoring profile here should be a little bit different with when he doesn't have those dudes in there. He's going to play down low a little more, which I'm fine with, especially if Bam is taking away some of the attention of Joel. So yeah, I'm on Jaime Jaquez for a full unit. I'm going to put it on the bottom line as well. Give it that green check. Keep it moving. I'm going to take, yeah. All right, cool. So we got Jaime, and I'll put Jaime in here because I don't know if everyone's going to know who I'm talking about when I say Triple J. Over 6.5 points, and that is -110 MGM. All right, let's keep it moving because I like that. You like that? All right. 1U. That's updated on the bottom line. I do need to take out this Joel bet because that's going to be confusing for y'all. So Joel is a lean. Unfortunately, didn't have anything for him on that one. Saving that. Quick reminder to those of y'all that are new, if you are just jumping in here for the first time, jump in with a bet into the comments if you want us to go over anything. I'm down to look at that stuff too. You think, yeah, I think he's good for like, I do think he's good for 25 to 28 minutes tonight, Daff. So I'm feeling good about that look. Yeah, that's cool. Good luck, Drewski. Wait. Oh, because you had him over 17.5. I got you. Yeah, good look. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Daryl. Yeah, the minutes for Jaime seem to be there a bit more. And now that we've got him needed for probably some boards and stuff like that, I like that. Daft is on the assists as well. But let's keep it moving here. The next one that we had that I was looking at, bring up what's coming up next. Let's look at Tyler Hero. We might as well. Tyler Hero. I feel like he has a rap name. I can't remember what it is, though. I don't want to give him disrespect, but I'm pretty sure he had a rap name. It was when he had a lightning bolt in his head. All right, we're moving to, I mean, it's always points, right? I mean, there was assist. Assist was a sharp look that some people were looking at, and I call it sharp. I don't know if it's sharp yet, but let's see. Head-to-head, he does seem to be diming up a bit, 5-5, 6-7 against this Philly team that he played twice on the regular season this season, and he got 11.2, 11 and 14, so like 12, right? 12.5 or whatever that is. Yeah, 12.5 potential assists. That's a lot to get 5. That's great. 12 and a half to get 5 is a very, very doable number for sure. The assist that he actually recorded off those, like 50% on the 14 that he had, a little worse than 50%. Yeah, he doesn't really need to get that many. He's been doing this at about 50% clip, even worse, honestly. Like his potential assist to regular assists, I like that look right there. The last 5, yeah, he was playing Toronto, but the minutes started coming here at the end. Philly doesn't give up assists. I'm be honest with you. I'm very confident in that. Let's put Tyler in here for a second and see what he does. His player profile, his playmaking profile does against this team for dimes. And we're looking for Philly. They're going to be middle of the pack, limiting assists to him. I kind of want to see what other people like Tyler Hero have been doing with the dimes. So let me go to, I guess, point guard. Is that what you call Tyler Hero? Let me look at that. I want to see how I should define him. So sometimes when you want to know how you can define point guard or not, for me, I like to go to players and go to the tracking data and go to passing. And then I'm going to go to the Miami Heat real quick. And I want to see not just potential assists, but let's do the last. What's he been back for? Like 6 games? How long you been back, Tyler? Looking at his last 10, he's been back since the 5th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 games that we've had Tyler Hero back. So I'm going to do the last. Yeah, okay, I already had that in there. Last 6 games for the Miami Heat. So potential assists is one thing. He's second on the team in potential assists after Jimmy and Bam's assists go down. That's another reason I'm fading Bam, is like his assist numbers definitely go down when other people are eating into his usage. The points are mad low for him too, but the potential assists for Hero at 9 or since he's come back, right? And he's at 33 minutes over these last 6. So like he has gotten his minutes up. Is that true? Yeah, because he played 48 minutes against Atlanta. So that's a huge reason why. Okay. So in looking at that, going back to the right tab, I also want to know passes made. So he is getting the most passes made and the most passes received. So I think he's a point guard, because when you have someone who's getting the most passes made and received, it means that they're at the top of the key, making those passes to everybody around them, and then getting the ball back. Because if he passes it to the wing and that action isn't there, then that ball comes right back to him and they reset that offense, right? And then you probably get Duncan Robinson coming around for a dribble handoff bull play. I hate that play, but either way, that's why I think we can say he's a point guard, right? I think that is a pretty good look. So I'm going to look at some stuff here on props.cash to see what point guards have done assist-wise against this team recently. Marcus Sasser got 5, a lot of 5s in here. Jordan Goodwin even got a 4 alongside Scottie Pippen, who got a 5. DG, the PG, got 12. Russ, I mean, I guess you call Russ the point guard, but like they don't call Harden a point guard for some reason. He might not have played in that game, but looking at shooting guards too, because sometimes they incorrectly put people there. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's a point guard stuff. I like the assists though at -110. That's a really good look. I'm gonna put Tyler Hero in there for over 4.5 at that amount. Let me also just see what the what it looks like real quick on FanDuel Fantasy Pros. This is defense versus player position, but which I don't like as much, but it's still going to be somewhat helpful. So we look at Philly. They are giving up some dimes to PGs on the season. Overall, they're in like the middle of the pack, but still, not great. In the last 7 also in the last 7, they've played absolute terrible comp. So that's not going to be a great indication in that last 7. They've had the easiest strength of schedule in that time frame. So keep that in mind. But I still like the assist for Hero, especially because I don't like them for Bam quite as much. So I'm going to add him to here on the 4 assists and take that for half a unit. For Hero, let me put, he deserves to be, okay, Hero over 4.5. I can't believe that hasn't gotten bumped up. I really thought that would. I thought I saw a number of people on that online too, but -110 MGM, put 0.5 U on that. So we got Tyler in there as well. All right. Keeping it moving. Saving that. The bottom line is updated so that if you are looking at it, it does have the best that we put in here. I'll update what we got here with Tyler. I'll just put the green check next to him saying we bet his over assist. All right. Next bet that we're looking at here. Looks like we already passed on Jimmy. The PRA for Jimmy, I could understand. Even the RA is kind of something I would feel more comfortable, by the way, with Jimmy. I should make clear that we put that green check next to Triple J because I took him for a full unit. And if I look stupid because Spo was like, nah, sorry, Rook, you ain't coming in for this game, so be it, man. But I got his projected minutes at about 28, and so that's good for me to get him 7 points. But all right, we got Toby Harris. Let me see about that real quick. Daft is talking about first quarter points for Toby. I know I hate Toby, bro. Don't worry, we're gonna get to Highsmith as well. Ooh, we got D-Relly talking about under Harris points and assists. Everybody can still hit there. We could look at Caleb Martin props. I haven't even mentioned his name yet. So let me make sure I put him in here before we move on. And let's be honest, y'all, this game is way better than the next game. So like I'm happy to spend a bit more time on this game than the next one. Although we do need to look at Bogey. That's the only thing I'm gonna say. What's good, Mike? Good to have you, bro. I don't want to move past Hero without talking about his threes then, if that's what you're talking about, Constantine. I'll take a quick look at those for Hero. The 3-pointers. Got to make sure it's the volume of how many he's taken, right? So he needs to get 3. It's at minus 132 is the best number. If we look at, I mean, this Philly defense is real good behind the arc. I will say that. I believe they're worse against spot ups, but let's see real quick because Hero's doing plenty of pulling up off the dribble. Let's actually just look at players first so we can look at him. We can look at pull-up shooting for this Miami Heat team. So I'm going to have to go to advanced filters. I'm on players tracking data, and I can see exactly how he's shooting and the types of shots that he's taking. So if I go to Miami, so I can look at Tyler, the Hero, and look at this. So this is Miami pull-up shooting on the season, right? The attempts off the pull-up, 8 of them, right? Terry comes in and does that too, but he's not even in this game. So I think 8 field goal attempts off the pull-up is probably pretty likely for dude. If we look at the spot-up stuff, pull-up shooting, catch and shoot, right? For players, I can do catch and shoot, which is perfect, which is spot-up, right? But player catch and shoot, and I look at Miami once again. Let's look at that right quick. Field goal attempts off the catch and shoot. That's Duncan. Yeah, that makes sense. He's still getting those, right? Obviously. So that's a good look. But yeah, it's a little bit more Duncan. He's doing a lot of pull-ups. So let's look at teams, and we'll look at tracking for these teams and see how they defend. Actually, I don't think we can do catch and shoot defense, can we? Yeah, they don't let us do it for teams. So I got to go to play type and do spot up instead, which is a little bit different because you can't take a dribble off a spot up. It's still considered a spot up, but you're still getting it off a pass, basically. So if we look at spot up shooting defense for Philly to see how they do. Yeah, so I can't do pull up. That's mad annoying. I hate that. But I'm going to still look at spot up real quick and see how they do against that. For Philly, they're probably pretty good. Middle of the pack, it looks like. Where'd Philly go? Are they all the way at the top? Yeah, they're at the top. So they're not even giving up that many, or they are. Yeah, my bad. They're like giving up like the 11th most possessions where they have a spot up shooter, which leads to basically they're good at defending spot up shooters, right? Why can I never see? Okay, Philly's right here. So they're middle of the pack, but they're not bad. There's not much there for that. If we look at the shooting stuff for Hero, did I look at his points and his scoring profile against Philly? In general, yeah, it's like 18th. So I mean, but the thing about Philly too is like real quick, just so you know, for the threes, and then I'll move on. If you look at opponent 3-pointers made for this team on the season, they are 6th best at the amount of threes that they're giving up to their opponent. In the last 10, I think that might even be a little bit better. No, it's actually a little bit worse. Okay, but in the last 5, it's definitely really good, but they've also played crap teams, so I don't know how much you want to do about that. But the way that Philly guards the perimeter, I'm kind of out on threes for Hero or anybody like that. It's really annoying that I'm not able right now to show you how they defend the pull-up, but I'm going to move past that. I'm going to go to Toby Harris real quick and see if there's anything there for Tobias as well. Switch up this music, too. All my copyright-free stuff. All right, so looking at Tobias real quick. Head-to-head, he had 4 threes last game on Christmas. Merry Christmas, Toby. Last 10 on the season, hitting 3 of them. Only needs to hit 2. Damn, I think that was a bet that was thrown in there. He's spotting up probably a good amount with Joel, I would imagine. That's a thing, is like... so I'm gonna look. I'm gonna just go to Props Madness real quick because this is real easy. I got a couple things too. Got this Friday for the final playing game is gonna have DK DFS on here as well. One of the best, dude. Honestly, I mean, he might be the GOAT right now in terms of like player props and his angles. I mean, for DFS specifically, but like he's good at finding props. He's not the GOAT prop finder. He's the GOAT DFS player. I'll say that, which is very, very similar, right? But what I want to show you about Toby is Toby Harris. If you look at what he's doing, so he is spotting up a good amount. You can see Miami, like I told you earlier, is second worst defense against spot up shooters. I think that's why a couple people are taking Kelly Oubre as well. Let me see who gets more minutes against this team. So Toby Harris versus the Miami Heat. This season, he's only played one game, had the 4 threes. He played 41.5 minutes on Christmas. I think Joel was out already, wasn't he? Let me do with and without Joel real quick. If I take without Joel, yeah, he played on Christmas without Joel. And I think Toby is somebody who actually, he doesn't necessarily do better. Let's look at Tobias Harris with and without Joel Embiid. This season, I meant this season. This season, 34, 36 games, one more point, 1.3 threes made without him, better three-point shot with him, or efficiency with him, because that's where he gets his spot up stuff. But not much of a difference there. Let's look real quick at Kelly Oubre. Kelly Oubre with and without JoJo this season, 4 more points, fewer threes. This whole team is worse at threes when Joel is out. Look at the 3-point percentage. This whole team's defense, 3-point percentage is just terrible without Joel Embiid. Let's do 76ers with and without Joel, just so you can see the whole squad. That 3-point percentage as a squad drops 4%. Nobody more than Maxey, by the way. This is a stark drop in not total output, but in percentage. 40% down to 34% without Joel, right? He's just way better shooting threes with Joel in there. So I do kind of like to consider that for him. The problem with Toby and with Kelly Oubre is like they're so similar that it's tough for me to figure out which one's going to do which. If we look at Kelly Oubre versus this team last game, Kelly O Jr., who I probably scrolled by and didn't see. There he is. He's got the 1.5. It's minus 113. Not as good of juice as what you get for Tobias doing it. And these are the only 3 he's played. Oh, he's played 4 this season. On 214, he did not make a 3. Did he shoot a 3 on that? I mean, he had to have. He only took 4 on the 14th. Every other game, he's taken 9, 6, and 6. So for him to get 2 threes off 6 attempts seems pretty likely, right? That's why he's gone 5 for 7 against this team. He's probably spotting up maybe a bit more than Tobias Harris. I mean, this is about the same. So that you see what I'm saying? They're the same dude. 3.7 spot ups for Tobias, 3.5. He's also going out in transition the way Tobias is getting the most of his points in transition. They're the same player. So that's why it's tough to like pick between these two. But I do like Kelly a little bit more. If we look at Tobias has only played them once this season. Let me look at Tobias Harris in general real quick. Tobias Harris versus Heat let's do 4 games because then I'll at least see a little bit further back because he only played them once this season. In the last 2 for the threes, taken 4, 3, and 7, right? And this was without Kelly. So like this one was with Kelly, but he was like sort of the focal point of the offense without Joel. So that's a big difference. I prefer Kelly Oubre at this point. And I think we can still bank on Kelly getting the minutes, right? His let's see, since Joel came back in the last 5, he's at 31.5 minutes, but it's really about 28, 29 minutes. So maybe it's actually because Toby's getting a few more. I just hate betting on Tobias Harris. I'm gonna be honest with you. I would always rather bet on Kelly Oubre than Tobias Harris. I think I like the Oubre threes though, if we're being honest. I mean, other thing you can say is like Buddy Hield now comes in and takes away from them, but he's at minus 140. And he has been hitting threes since Joel came back. God damn, that's annoying. And the Heat team is susceptible to those spot ups. Is Buddy spotting up even more than these dudes? Probably. No, a little bit more. 4.6 points off the spot up for Buddy, shooting from up here. That above the break defense from Miami is still really good, though. You want to be in the corner. So he's not taking shots from the corner is Buddy Hield. Kelly Oubre is not either. Tobias takes some from the corner, right? Like what? Let me go to the shot chart real quick for all 3 of these dudes. I can just go to players. I'm gonna go to shooting and look at where these dudes are shooting from. So I'm gonna do by zone, and then filter this to Philly, and I'm gonna do it for the last like 25, 30 game. Well, let's just do. I guess we'll just do last 15 for now, and just see where these dudes are shooting from in general over these last 15, which might change a little bit with Joel in there. But if we look at the corner threes, Kelly and Batum and Buddy Hield down there a little bit. If we look at above the break, it's all Maxey, even Joel up there a bit more. You got to choose between one of these three dudes, honestly. And I one of them is going to hit 2 threes. That's for damn sure. Maybe 2 of them. Let me see if y'all have anything for that as well. Free Sauce likes Embiid on the points in general. Maxey over Embiid, yeah. All right, I got you. Let's see here. Oh, hell yeah. Let's do it. I didn't even know you were around, bro. Are you crazy? Of course. About to get a little guess in here. I don't like to bother him because he's so damn far away that I don't know what he's doing at this time of day because it's like 20 hours ahead of us or whatever it is. But yeah, let's get it. Let's get a little extra love in here so I can see what you're thinking from Daft. But man, I'm stuck. I'm really stuck. I wish I could just be confidently like, yo, take this one. But I don't know. I do like Buddy, but it's all the same, honestly. Somebody's gonna hit it. I think Buddy was also getting those numbers with Toronto a little bit more. I still like Kelly. I think because he's in the corner more, and that's where he's and Batum. Batum's at half a made 3. I know they're going to be dependent on him. That might be a look as well, right? Like Batum at half a 3. That's insanity. Let's see what Daft has to say about it. What's up, fam?
What's up, Kings and Queens?
What's good, bro? Let me fix this up real quick. Dude, good to have you, man. I'm glad to see that you're able to jump in today.
No, we good. It's like 8:15 in the morning, so I don't start work for a little bit. Yeah. So thought I'd jump in with you.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. What are you looking at right now?
I'm just watching you, homie.
No, but yeah, I know you got something for me.
Well, I previewed these games about 10, 12 hours ago. Yeah. We've got some very similar insights on them, believe it or not. So I thought we'd just chop it up.
For sure. Can you help me here then, man? I don't have the proper graphics right now, but we're just going to be scrunched in here together, one big happy family. Can you help me decide between Toby Harris and Buddy Hield and Kelly Oubre threes, please?
Yes. So I had the same drama. A lot of these numbers were looking good when I looked at this Philly game. Obviously, historically, Joel Embiid's been slowed down a little bit against this Miami team. What I ended up taking, my thoughts are very much the same as yours. I hate Tobias Harris, this J. Cole looking mother. But I hate betting on him. A lot of the time, I don't even look at his numbers, but they look pretty good. His recent form's been great, even with Joel in the lineup. Similar to you, I love taking Kelly Oubre. I have a tendency, and he cooks me a few times. What I ultimately landed on was Kelly Oubre points and rebounds, though. So looking at those two together, I think his rebound numbers against Miami are quite solid.
Got you. So that was helpful for you. So you didn't make a decision on threes for any of those dudes, right?
No, I did not.
Okay. Let me look at head-to-head PR. Wow, these numbers are good.
Yeah.
What am I missing here? This is all this year too, right? Damn.
Yeah. With and without Joel, his numbers are good.
Yeah. Yeah. That's impressive. I was just doing this with him right here on StatMuse and just looking at Kelly Oubre with and without Joel this season. I didn't see anything about the rebounds. I wasn't looking that closely, though. I was looking at threes and points. But yeah, I mean, without him, it's like a little bit more. But like, what are his rebounds? His rebound prop is probably pretty low, right? In general, by itself, 4.5.
4.5.
Yeah, some of it's on 5.5 now. But did you get PR at 18.5? You said or lower?
Yeah.
Minus 104 on FanDuel.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good look, man.
Because his rebound line's juiced to the gills, right? So you wouldn't take that,
right?
Solution, but together,
say less, bro. We're going with it. I love it. I need to get something in there. I know one of these dudes is going to be scoring. I just cannot figure out who's going to be hitting the threes. I think he's going to hit the threes. So I'm going to take the over 18.5 PR to tail our boy here. Minus 104 is great too. So I'll put a half a unit on that. I am going to put a half a unit on the over 1.5 made threes too, because I'm a sick bastard. Over 1.5 3 p.m. because I'm sorry, I'm not betting on Tobias Harris. At the end of the day, think about it this way: what are you gonna be more mad about? You bet on Tobias Harris and lost, or you didn't and it would have hit? I like whatever. Come at me.
I did take Tobias Harris in the first quarter, though.
You did.
I like 3.5. Like it's a magic number in the first quarter. It's 2 buckets. 3.5 is great.
Yeah.
4.5 I wouldn't be near it, but 3.5. I can get with that.
I get that. I totally get that. I'm with you on that. The threes I get minus 110 on DK right now, or MGM, but I'll take DK because that's where I'm going to bet it here in a second. All right, cool. Let me add that here. What else are you looking at, bro? I mean, even if we've gone over somebody already, definitely jump in with whatever you got.
Looking at that first game, that's all I really had. Probably different to yours. I think.
Really?
Did you go over Tyler Hero assists? You did, right?
I did. Yeah.
A lot of our plays in this game are very much the same.
Love to hear it. That's cool. I'm great with that. Then the only thing I want to make sure I look at for people is I guess Lowry and Martin. Is there anything to Lowry that we think? And also somebody had Tobias Harris rebounds, but you didn't have anything for that, right?
No, didn't show up in my radar.
Okay.
Again, I try to avoid him at all costs.
6.5.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess he's done it lately and people are seeing green, but like,
yeah. Like if you're running those alternate parlays where you reduce lines, like Toby's pretty consistent for 10 points, 4 to 5 rebounds. Like he'll hit those, but
oof, no thank you. With Joel, if I put him in here head to head, he hasn't done it on the points. The Rebs, he's at 5. Like, nah, that's a no for me, dog, in the words of Randy Jackson. So all right, we're gonna pass on Harris Rebs. I do want to just do a little bit of due diligence here, just because people were in here and this is the first game. I'm just gonna look at Kyle Lowry and maybe Caleb Martin. I don't know if you even looked at those dudes, did you?
I had to look at Caleb Martin because I still remember that run he went on against Boston in the playoffs last year.
Right.
But, yeah. It's a real Hail Mary play for me, given this Heat team. I feel like they've got quite a few wings they could play, right? There's a lot of wings there.
They do.
Just because he started doesn't tell me too much.
Yeah, the Haywood Highsmith stuff is interesting because I don't know why he would get minutes. He's been going over a lot lately and everything with these low prop totals, but I don't know why that would be.
He was actually the first player that I looked at because Outlier was green for everything for this bloke, and his minutes as of late have been pretty good. And I don't know how with Jovic, Kevin Love, Harkes. I was like, how's this guy getting runtime?
Dude, right. I mean, I think part of it is if you look at his minutes, they had a game against Atlanta where it was 35.5 minutes for him because it was double OT, right? And Atlanta still couldn't cover in that game at 4.5 points. That pissed me off. But I was like, oh, I'm crushing this game. I got it right. And then they go double OT, and then that's what always happens. But yeah, I think the minutes are at 25, so 27. But in the last 5, they're closer to about 25 minutes per game without this huge outlier. I can understand why you would want to play him. I don't have the data to help me with this one, and I kind of want to jump into the other game, so I'm not boring too many people with this one after we just dragged everybody to death through it. But for those of y'all that didn't get some plays from me that you might have wanted from this Philly and Miami game, just jump into the Discord afterwards. We'll do a little bit of office hours before that game so we can get into that. Got to get you in there for office hours too, bro. All right, cool. We're gonna move on to this other one where I have my other little handy dandy graphic up. So let's see if I know we had a lot of people in there, but why don't you kick us off, because there were some people throwing bets out there, but I'd love to hear where you're starting.
On this, what are we looking at? Hawks versus Bulls. What do I know about this game? We know that the Bulls play slow as hell. The Hawks like to run. We know that the Bulls don't defend the 3-point line very well. We know the Hawks don't play defense at all. We know that Trae Young is a few games back from injury. I think a lot of those games he played in the lead up were kind of to shake the rust off. I think a real popular play that I've seen everywhere is that assist prop. And I know you called that out early as well, that 10.5 for Trae.
Yep.
It was at plus money, I think, when it opened.
Yep. Yeah, I took that immediately because I was like, I thought I was going to go there and see it at 11 or 12. Honestly, I really did, because how are you not looking at the same data that we're all looking at here? I mean, I'll just keep it simple and go to go to Courtside Pal and put in Trae right here, because Trae is like obviously a point guard, right? So and if you look at point guards versus this Bulls team, it's even easier to see it there. But we look at his points and his shooting profile versus Chicago.
It's
actually
terrible.
Really bad.
Yeah, really bad. I actually,
30.
Being honest with you, I took a parlay here, a same game parlay for Trae Young to go under 23.5 points, under 3.5 rebounds, over 10.5 assists. To put all those things together, and
it's the
plus 550. I got
and yep. So they're eighth, give up the 8th most points or assists rather. Yeah, that's an awesome deal. I mean, if you just look at him real quick, if you look at Trae Young, last at least 5 games versus Bulls.
I think he's gone under 4 times, perhaps.
Yep, he's got the only like if you took the PA, you'd probably be okay also, to be honest, right? Because that assist prop is low enough. But actually, what is this PA? Let me go to that game real quick. If we look at Trey, baby, 33.5. So you would mostly get over this number over the last bunch of games. Yeah, you would get over everyone except for these two. We got 19 and 14, but that's the correlation. You said under 3.5 boards.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What? That's brilliant. What was that?
Plus 550.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That's definitely worth a sprinkle on the lotto there. That's exactly how you play this game. I was talking about a similar concept, honestly, with Joel Embiid. It's like the same thing to me because of the fact that this Miami team collapses down on defenses, on big men and the ball handler and everybody. Wherever the ball is, Miami's just like woof right to it, right? And then that means there's dudes open on the spot up, which means Joel has to pass out of it. Same concept here for Trey. They're just going to pressure the crap out of the ball until it's out of his hands. And that's why I actually took Capella under on the rebounds, and I left. But I took, but I didn't take anything with the points because I was like, yo, like he could just catch a ton of lobs from Trey, which is what I think is going to happen, right? And then we're out of it. We're out of it. So
that's actually the other parlay I'm running. I got Clint Capella under 12.5 boards, over 12.5 points.
I love it. We're on the exact same thinking.
We're salt baying this thing up, just sprinkling all over the place.
I love it, man. Yeah, the BAPs, bitch ass parlays.
My bitch ass parlays.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're on the same page for both Trey and Clint. I totally agree with that. So I think we got to look at Bogey for a second.
Yeah.
Did you look at Bogey?
I spent so much time on Bogey because it just makes sense.
Yeah. So why couldn't you get there?
His point line, I think it opened at 16.5 and it moved.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's a lot of movement here. Does that mean it's a popular play? Do I want to fade the public on this one?
Yeah.
Strong form against the Bulls, especially with Trey in the lineup. But on the season with Trey, doesn't have the best hit rates. Like it makes the most sense in my opinion, but I just couldn't get there. I also knew there's only 2 games I had a lot of bets on already. So
yeah. No, that's fair. We got a lot of playoffs left, so yeah, we got to be careful here. But and I definitely went a little crazy on opening night last night. The scoring, second best scoring. So like, if you look at point guards points not coming versus Chicago, shooting guards points coming versus Chicago a lot better, right? They're up here at like, they're still middle of the pack actually. They're still good on the wing, but that's because they're going for steals. And then if they get them, then they go, and if they don't, then there's an easy bucket for somebody. So yeah, I haven't pulled the trigger on Bogey, but I was talking about it with everybody in the chat, in the Discord rather. If you get the over 17.5 for plus 100, I just don't see anything to give me an edge necessarily. Now head to head, he's definitely done this a lot, right? And that's what I was going to look at. You said with and without Trey, right? That actually is a big deal for him. So I'm going to do Bogdanovic. I'm pretty sure I'm spelling it right. With and without. Also, I have to be totally honest. It was like 2 years ago now that I was like talking about the Bogdanovich brothers.
Yeah, I actually remember seeing that. I've seen you say that before. And I was like, ooh.
Oh, man. If you want to talk about something that nobody will let you live down. Oh, my God. All right, so they're pretty similar this season, but if you take him out in the game, so is the head-to-head stuff too? I wonder real quick if I take him with Trey Young versus Chicago, so that takes away 2 of those greens, but he's still getting pretty comfortably over. Yeah. The shot attempts for him are at almost 17. So this season with Trey, still took 21 and 16 shots against them. I think for even money, I'm going to take him for 18.
Yeah, the way that I looked at it was I probably wouldn't take his straight line at my normal unit recommendation, but I might think let's just take the 20 and then might go 75% of what I normally play.
Yeah.
Because I think if he's going over, he's going over. So
I'm gonna take it for even money and feel like I can still just kind of like put a half a unit on it and feel good about it. And just make the full half back, right? So yeah, I'm gonna put that in the on the card here.
It makes the most sense. Like
it does.
Based on profiles, where the Bulls give up points. Like it just
What do you think about Bruno Fernando? Did you look at him at all? Because people were asking me about him too.
It's a really popular play.
Yeah.
His lines are quite low. He should get at least 20 minutes. Capella doesn't have the same legs that he used to have. I think it's a good play.
Right.
His lines are quite low. I personally didn't take it, but yeah, I think it's a good one.
him getting minutes is part of why I was okay with going under on Capella, because when Capella played this team earlier, he had Onyeka Okongwu, he had Jalen Johnson in, so it was like and Sadiq Bey even. So I was kind of like, yo, am I just seeing things for why Capella is going under against this Bulls team? But in reality, I still think Bruno Fernando, who I kept calling Bruno Fernandez, is going to be playing 20 minutes. But he is not a tiny little Portuguese man playing soccer. He is he's a big man playing basketball from the Netherlands.
Andre Drummond status, by the way. I think that's probably why I was a bit hesitant.
Has that come out at all? Do you know?
I'm not too sure. I just woke up.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Duncan not having a minutes limit, I kind of like. I feel like we can use that. But Ayo Dosunmu is it looks like he's participating shoot around. But yeah, there's nothing yet from Andre Drummond news. So there's nothing we could do with that. If he plays, then we just continue to like unders for Capella and don't even want to touch Bruno Fernando. Is that kind of what you're thinking?
Yeah. I think Bruno, it's mainly his points prop. I think everybody likes 5.5. It is quite. There's a lot of big in that one though. So,
yeah, the -140 there.
Yeah, and he's not. I don't believe he gets to the line too. Oh, he does. I think he's making 2 free throws per game. It's just he's always landing on even numbers. That's all. So I was thinking, would you take it at 6.5 for plus money? Then potentially, it might be one of those plays where you take him for 10. Then you have to put more of a unit on it.
Yeah, it's about the field goals. I still have head to head here. Let's do last 5. Has he been getting minutes? I mean, I know it was kind of the end of the season. They didn't care. 22. This is what I'm banking on, though, is that he takes 20 to 22 minutes from Capella. What he's going to do with those 22 minutes, I don't know, to be honest. And if he is playing against Drummond, it ain't going to be a lot. I can't imagine. He'll probably get gobbled up a bit.
Yeah,
so
I think Drummond can also keep him on the floor, right? There's no chance of playing small ball if Drummond's out there. So
it's a good point. They have to play their backup center, but there's no value, like you said. This thing's been vigged out.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah,
move it, get some alternate lines.
Yeah, I gotta pass on Bruno, to be honest. You want to keep it going? You had a couple other things for this one?
In this game?
Yeah.
Trey Capella.
Let's put that in here.
I've taken DeJounte Murray's under in his points, under 23.5. I feel like it's going to be a sweat-free bet, meaning he's going to clear this with ease, or he's not going to get close.
I got you. You're talking about DJ's. Which ones? His points or his
points? Yeah. I got it at 23.5, -110.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, he had a couple of games in there with Trey that he still kind of went off. One was Miami, and then 2 were against just teams that don't play defense, including Indy and Detroit. So the thought process for him against the Bulls, can you take me through that real quick while I look at a couple of things?
What was I thinking? I think it was the shot profile. I also just watching a lot of Hawks games this year, with and without Trey. DeJounte Murray, he shoots very well when he's in rhythm, so he needs a higher usage rate. He needs to dribble into that shot. And I think he's probably get forced into more spot-up shooting today, which is not necessarily his forte. He'll take a lot of three-pointers, don't get me wrong. He struggled against the Bulls in the past. His shot percentages have been terrible. So the volume's there, but he doesn't seem to get it off.
Interesting.
And I think it comes down to the play style.
Yeah.
He shoots a lot of those mid-range. The Bulls, very good at defending that spot.
Got it. Yeah. I mean, basically the best at everywhere, right, in this orange and red, right?
Where DJ lives, they live there too. So.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I mean, the only thing he could do is hit a bunch of above the break threes if he does get those off. But I imagine let me look at him. And I already got Trey in here, so let's do it with DeJounte Murray, with and without Trey this season. We're looking at 25 without Trey, obviously, and then the threes, almost 3 more threes per game, 4 more shots per game. That's really what it comes down to. So like 17 points for DJ Murray to get I think that's the better look here, is the under for him, right? Bogey's the dude that you would think would be getting open shots that are good for him, and then this pull-up stuff for DeJounte is not as there against the Bulls. So I like that. I mean, somebody's got to score for this Atlanta team.
I was thinking DeAndre Hunter as well, but his numbers are all over the place. but
to go over.
play style makes sense. I didn't take it, but it's one that I heavily considered.
Interesting.
And then I think a sneaky one could be Garrison Matthews. I think his points like 24.5. But that guy gets on and has the green. He's like the Sam Hauser of Atlanta Hawks. He just gets on there and starts pulling up.
Yep, 100%. Like no fear. That's what he's out there to do. He's a gunslinger. A real Sam Merrill type, if you will, on the box. Now we're just guys. Real Sam Hauser type. Let's see. Under. I do like the under. Was it? Did you get 23 or was 22.5 points for Murray?
I got 23.5 minus 110.
Let me see what that's at right now when I'm about to take it, because I like that. And I do like the Garrison Matthews. A bunch of people have been talking about Garrison Matthews in the chat as well. So I want to see about that. It says 22.5 here, but there's a 24.5 on MGM for minus 120. Yeah, DraftKings, you can still get it. Not the juice, you got it. But yeah, I mean, minus 120 under 24.5. If that's there, I'm going to put that in there. Because if that's there when I get off this stream in a second, that's going in. Minus 120 for under 24.5. That's beautiful. So yeah, for Garrison Matthews, did you look a little bit more deeply into it, or was it
surface level? Again, I get overly excited sometimes, and it absolutely kills my bankroll. So I already put too much stock into that 76ers game. So on this second one, I pulled back a little bit. I ended up with Trey Desonmu if he plays. I don't mind the points there for him. DJ's unders.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. I was looking at Garrison, and then the other people that were brought up is Kobe White as well. And then the points or assists or even rebounds for sure. Free Sauce, that's what I was looking for. Is I know Free Sauce was talking about AO. I think it's AO, it might be IO, but AO is dope. AO Dosunmu over 3.5 assists. Yeah, I mean, so for the assist for him, I mean, that's something that I was targeting when Kobe White was out, but I haven't really been looking at his stuff nearly as much after he went on that little tear. Did you think you had something for him? And then I'll look at Garrison Matthews.
I like his points prop. I was debating the 3-point prop, but I think, the Atlanta Hawks don't defend in transition, right? True. The Bulls, they don't run much, but if someone is going to run, they've got Caruso, Desonmu, and Kobe White. And so the way he scores his points is very green against his team, especially those corner threes, right? That's where they're weak. But I think he's most likely to take these corner threes where they're susceptible.
Right. Yeah. He's taken 22% of his shots from a corner.
Yeah.
And that is where they're terrible.
His hit rates against Atlanta have been quite well. I think his last 3 games he covered off the top of the dome.
Yep. You got that right.
Those are all this season. So all that other red shit, you get rid of that. That's a young IO, but
my man, they last year, yeah. And they didn't even play him at the beginning of this season, right? But yeah, it looks like he wasn't doing it off of threes against them. Now he's averaging like 35 minutes.
One game he hit 5 threes, perhaps, from what I remember. But that's why I went with points. Initially, it started the threes. That made sense to me. But then I looked at the hit rates, and points seemed like a better option.
Right, because it's 1.5 threes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he's averaging against them this season 5-ish, right? 5 threes or so against them, a little bit more than that. So 5 threes to hit 2 for IO, I don't love. Yeah, I can see why you stayed away from that. There's no edge there if it's minus 138. That's for damn sure. Not on him and needing to hit 40%. But the points, especially if he's getting those points in transition, like you're saying, then that's beautiful. I like that. I wanted to see about the assist real quick since it was brought up by Free Sauce. Exclusive member as well, VIP member of the Discord, meaning all of us listen to what he has to say is really what I mean by that. You get the dudes of the Discord and you're like, I'm really interested to see what this man has to say right now. I'm not the only one. People are tagging him all the time. Yeah, the points, I guess it makes sense, but I've got a lot of stuff on the card now as well. And only have about 5 minutes or so left on the stream. Well, we can go for a little bit longer if anybody has anything, but there's only 2 games. I feel like we exhausted a lot of this. The only other thing I would look at real quick, I'll look at Garrison Matthews and we can call it a day. And I appreciate you jumping on, bro. You are literally always welcome. Just send me the message. I just don't want to be like, hey, can you stop taking care of your child and come live stream? That's the only thing.
Usually about at that time, I've just dropped her off at daycare and I'm on my way home. And I work from home late in the week, so I can jump on. So even tomorrow, I might be able to join you tomorrow.
Beautiful. Love it. All right. And I'm going to start getting into baseball too, by the way, because there's actually no NBA tomorrow. So I am going to get a baseball vid out there.
I think I'm going to do a video on bankroll management. That's what I'm going
Yeah,
to
I
do.
love it. I love it. Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's already people in here that know who you are, but obviously, Daft Previews definitely give him that love for sure. 5.5 points for Garrison Matthews. Do we think he's going to get any shots? 6 shots. He needs to make 2 of them. And if he takes a 3, he needs to make.
Yeah, I think we've got to calculate his shots per minute.
Yeah, we definitely do, because he's
forecast
at 20 in the last 10. You put him at about 20 in this game. I mean, I think like 18 to 20 seems fair. Right. Let me make sure Trey in here.
Yeah, you would have had the Trae Young filter on.
Yeah, let me have that on. So it's 16 minutes in the last 10 that he's played with Trey. And really in the last, at the end of the season, he got that burn. But was that because it was the end of the season?
Trey was playing most minutes in those games as well.
Right. So do we believe that he's going to get 20 minutes is the question.
Let's just work it off 15. Let's be conservative here.
Okay. 15 minutes. If he plays, this is 16. So we can just leave it at 16 and just believe in that number for the last 10. And if we believe in 16 minutes, then he's getting 3.5 shots in 16 minutes. So that's like 1 every 3 minutes.
And what proportion of his shots are 3-pointers? Probably 75% of them.
So three of Jesus. Yeah, like 85% of them are threes.
So we really need 2 3-pointers.
So we might as well just take the threes.
Yeah. Is there better odds for 2 threes? Or
yeah, it's plus 114. There's zero reason to take Garrison Matthews points. You have no incentive to take his points prop over his, and you can get plus 120 on and plus 125 on MGM if you've got those accounts. Caesars is plus 120. Screw it. Let's just sprinkle. Yeah, I mean he's playing the worst 3-point defense in the league almost.
That's right.
He shoots a lot of threes. real Sam Merrill.
Absolutely.
Him. Yeah, I'm going to put 0.3 units on him to get at plus 125 and just yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just not good to take the points here. Like if you're going to take anything for him, you're taking that. I don't mind putting 0.3 units on it. So yeah, just to make people who want to talk about Garrison Matthews happy, I'm going to throw in the GMAT. We'll call him G Matthews over 1.5 threes. Yeah, I mean, if you take the points, they want you to do that. Plus 125 on MGM. That's beautiful. I'm putting 0.3 on it because this is something I just am coming across. I don't love how I'm just using the logic of like, well, this is a better bet, and they're giving us an edge in this area versus the other areas. So I'll go ahead and take it. But I just don't see a world in where Garrison Matthews is attacking the basket and going to the free throw line. So
he ain't touching the paint.
No.
Even in warm-ups, he doesn't touch the paint. Layup line, he's pulling up. Like,
yeah, you practice where you're going to be playing from for sure. So, anything else from you, bro? Otherwise, I think I'm good to call for today.
No, I'm good, man. I just want to apologize. I might be a bad influence on you because
why?
We're emptying the tank.
We did. I think I'm looking at about 5.5 units after I was trying to stay considerate. But I am going to post this video and then pin it in the comments. We'll have a pinned comment that has the final card with the exact odds that I got it at. But Diego's not wrong, bro. We are betting on Garrison Matthews, and we might be unwell. So like everybody, go home and kiss your loved ones. Like remember your priorities, and we'll move on. But anything you want to plug real quick, bro? Anything you got coming up that's worth talking about?
No, just my BAU, these daily previews. I think given there's a lot of 2-3 game slates throughout this playoffs, I'm going back to diving in through almost every player, whereas before I was kind of walking into a video of my favorite leans. So if you've got a spare hour to spend each day, you can check me out.
Hell yeah. No, I mean, there's good insights in there. I like going through Outlier with you. I learned how to use the damn tool, to be honest, which is dope. So, yeah. All right. We're cool. We're going to call it there. If you're available on Friday, we'll get you in there. I got DK DFS coming in there. Alex, who's a dope, man. Like this dude is brilliant he's like watching coaching interviews and stuff to like get information from pressers. So that's the kind of dude I want to get info from, but
I'm going to be like Kendrick Perkins next to this guy.
No, Kendrick thinks he watches games. He's calling out Shaq and Charles for not watching games. That was insane. He got ratioed on every comment that he made. Anyway. All right, y'all. I'll be in the Discord in a little bit too if anybody wants to jump in there and talk about what's good. I love the final thing. I want to make sure everyone knows I love the Trae Young under 3.5 boards parlayed with under 23.5 points parlayed with over 10.5 assists. to get about plus 550 on that little parlay there from Daft, which is brilliant. So appreciate you, my man. We'll talk soon. And until we do, for everybody, happy betting.